with this unit because heat is thermal energy. Now, if you remember yesterday's quiz, I asked you on the back page, I gave you 5 examples of, I don't remember what they were, stove, light, cell phone, battery, I can't remember. There were 5 examples. Candle. And I asked you what type of energy they were, all right? And thermal energy is one of our 5 forms of energy, all right? You can call it thermal energy, or you can call it heat. They're one and the same, okay? So I'm going to use the 2 words interchangeably over the next 4 to 5 days, just so you get used to hearing both words, okay? Grace, move back. That's why I said y'all just want to move back there to talk. I know it's a little jaded for a teacher to say that, but it tends to happen that way. Now, what is heat? All right, first of all, you're going to hear me say this a lot over the course of the next couple days. Heat is a form of energy. So, is heat matter?
Yeah.
No. And we're going to talk about that after you write down this definition. All right? Heat is a form of energy. And it flows between 2 samples of matter due to their difference in temperature. And I'll let you write that down and then we'll talk about it. I can fix Derek before I forget.
I thought you said doesn't matter.
I thought matter was everything.
Like, obviously it matters for something though.
All right, so Mario, your answer to number 1 does not have a unit. So that -1 stands. 2 does. 3 does not. So those stand.
I didn't know that you.
4 does not, but 5 does. So you get 2 points back. So that'll change it to a 98. All right, we got a chance to write the definition?
No. Okay.
All right, so when you look at the definition, all right, is heat a form of matter? The answer is no. First of all, let me ask you this. Let me put in a separate page for just a second. Let's go back to middle school. I know it's a happy time for all of you. Tell me what matter is. Change colors here.
Middle school is funny. It's anything that has a shape. Like that takes up space.
All right, takes up space. That's half of it. All right, those are examples. Has to take up space, and it has to have something else. Has to have, starts with an M. Okay. Matter is anything that has mass and takes up space. So, examples that Malik just gave were solids, liquids, and gases. All right, now, if I asked you for some examples that are not matter, could you do that?
Yes.
All right, give me something that's not matter.
Light.
Okay?
Would air work?
No, air is going to fit over here with a gas. Oxygen is going to fit over here. Let me not write it as a chemical symbol. Let me write the word out. Oxygen is going to fit over there. Okay?
Sound waves.
Sound waves are not matter. Light and sound we're going to talk about when we get to waves in a couple weeks. Okay?
Is there anything that isn't matter?
Say what? I can't hear you, Nigel.
Is there anything else that's not matter?
Uh-huh.
You said heat? You said it wasn't?
Heat is not. Heat can certainly go here.
What about the stuff that comes from like stars?
That's gas.
That's gas.
No, like the rays from the sun, you know?
Like gas.
Okay.
Radiation. Well, solar flares are gas. Yeah, radiation. Ultraviolet. Ultraviolet is light.
Nobody said you weren't. Or at least not to me, they didn't. All right. Ultraviolet radiation is not going to be matter. All right. Which is a type, well, we generally classify it as light, but it is a type of radiation. Okay. It's actually electromagnetic radiation, and there are various types of electromagnetic radiation. That's just one.
What normal radiation be? Nuclear radiation.
Depends on what kind you want to talk about.
Yeah, there's gas radiation.
Okay. How many of y'all have a microwave in your house? All right. That's another type of radiation.
What about an oven? My mom's got a toaster.
All right. Generally speaking, an oven would fall into thermal energy, which would be heat. Okay. Generally speaking. Okay. Radio waves are going to fall in this. Okay. So they're going to fall in the not matter category. All right. You got the general idea of what is not matter? Now, the reason these are not matter, can we place them on our triple? Tyler, close that cabinet before you bang your head on the door that's open. All right. The reason these are not matter, can we place them on the scale and find their mass? Can we put them in a graduated cylinder and measure their volume? No. These, even though some of you would tell me, that's why we can't place air on that balance and find its mass. Yes, we can. We cannot measure the rays that the microwave put out. All right? Think about it. With a balloon or a tire, can we measure the air that's in the tire? We can measure the balloon before and after we blow it up. So we can measure the gas that's in the balloon. Okay? We can measure those things. We can calculate the volume of the balloon. Yes, Annabelle. Which one are you wanting to take?
Can I take both of them?
Yeah, could you tell me which they are?
Balancing, like, or there's like a really short one and like a medium one.
That's like so specific.
I know.
Really?
I don't know
Look at Power School.
what they are. Okay, give me a minute.
All right. So when we talk about heat, all right, it's a form of energy. So can we put heat on a scale and find its mass and find its volume? No. All right. The second piece, it is transferred between two samples of matter. So when you guys come in here, y'all sit down in the chair. Jose's bored senseless here. He sits down in the chair.
Oh my God.
All right. I'm going to assume that he's warm. All right. He's a living creature. He sits down in that chair. All right. Who's warmer, Jose or the chair?
Jose's face
Jose.
pretty red.
I'm thinking Jose might be warmer than the chair. Okay. So can we agree that they're not going to have the same temperature? Okay. So heat's going to move between the two of them because there's a difference in temperature between the two objects. Okay? Now,
The water cycles are lying. They're lying to you.
so if we have an ice cube sitting in our hand, what's going to happen to the ice? All right, why? All right, the heat from our hand is going to move which way?
Balance.
Through the ice.
Okay,
I got them now.
you got it now?
Balancing
Depends how
chemical
cold my hand is.
reactions
I'm in
and
Alaska,
word
I'm holding
equations
ice
like
cube up
/ type.
No, it doesn't depend on whether you're in Alaska.
Well, what if my hand is like freezing? What if my hand is holding the ice cube?
Balancing, I heard it.
It's a genuine question. What if my hand is holding the ice cube? I can't think of.
Did you bring something the right way?
So let me get this.
With ice cubes.
You gotta pick
Miss Wall,
You gotta
what
pick
if my hand is cold enough that the ice cube does not melt?
Your hand is not
I
going
admit
to be cold enough.
You don't know.
You what?
What if my hand is in the freezer? Yeah, what if I have my hand, what if my hand is frostbitten and I'm holding the ice cube? What if you're outside?
It doesn't matter, okay?
If I'm dead?
Because heat always flows from the same direction, okay? All right, heat always flows in the same direction, even dead. I'm assuming you're not frozen. Are you frozen?
It depends
What
on
direction does heat flow?
If I'm in an ice box, I am.
All right,
Yeah, ice box.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie.
all right.
I don't. Oh, yeah.
Heat flows from the warm object to the cold object. There are no exceptions to that rule, whether we're in Alaska or North Carolina. So, when you hold an ice cube in your hand, unless your hand is frozen, which one is colder? The ice cube. So your hand will be warmer than the ice cube. Even if you think your hand is really cold, your hand is warmer than the ice cube. So heat will flow from your hand to the ice cube. Okay? Even if you're dead, unless your body has been frozen, your body is still warmer than the ice cube. Now, all right, I don't need that because we already wrote it. So, because I
What?
Go back to blue.
Make it pink.
I can do that all day long.
Go back to blue.
Make it purple.
Blue. Yeah. That's how you know.
Make it rainbow.
I don't know how to make it a rainbow. So, when we go back to Jose or any of y'all sitting in the chair, when you come in and sit down in the chair and the chair is cool, you sit down, which way does heat flow?
Down the chair.
All right. It is never downward. The answer is never that. It may be that on a multiple choice test, and it will be the wrong answer. Heat flows from what? From you guys to the cold chair. So it's from warm to cold. You're the warmer person into the colder chair. All right? If we open the door right now, heat's going to flow from where to where?
Outside. Inside.
Us.
Outside.
Inside to outside. It is 53 degrees outside. Presumably, it's not 53 degrees in here, right? It feels pretty warm in here to me today. All right. So the heat will move from the inside, which is warmer, to the outside. All right. Now, in the summertime, what happens? What happens with when you open the door?
He comes in.
The heat comes in. Okay. Now, have you ever had your parents or grandparents tell you that we're not air conditioning the outside?
Yeah.
Don't correct them. Okay, you probably just get in trouble and they'll tell you you're being disrespectful. But are we air conditioning the outside?
Yes.
No. What's happening? The heat is coming in from outside.
So we're
Because-
heating inside.
We're heating the inside in terms of
So if I
size.
tell my parents the house a little chilly, I'll just go there. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
My
Now-
mom got a booty warmer.
what? Right.
Now,
You know them seats.
Oh, the seats.
all right, we did that one. We did that one. What if we put a hot oven with a frozen pizza in it? Which way does the heat flow?
It's the pizza.
Into the pizza. All right, that's how it cooks your food. Your food is colder, the oven's warmer, so the oven heat flows into the frozen food or the cold food, whatever it is you're cooking in the oven, and that's how it cooks. Now, microwaves work completely different. All right, now we're going to do our scavenger hunt. This is the last one we're doing, by the way. I don't think I do any more during the year.
I want to do more.
Well,
I like these.
If it involves math, I don't want to do it.
there's no math.
Yes!
This
Hey!
is my private what?
Hey!
Yeah.
We gotta use this again. The first car I've ever had that has one.
Oh my god.
Use
It
it,
just
right?
had it. I didn't
They
make
nice.
it because it has one.
What you mean, you just had, you bought the deluxe edition and just because.
No.
Because I know you got that upgrade, because the standard edition don't come with seating.
I actually bought it. It had sequel. I didn't like it where it had sequel. Alright. I can't remember if I put in a helpful website for this one, because the 3 types of heat transfer are really easy to find. So go grab your laptop.
What?
We use earphones?
Cannot use your phone, gotta use a laptop.
Earphones?
Earphones, yeah.
Okay, but I got earphones.
I use my headphones.
It's still gonna connect to my phone.
Let me see if I put something in there for you. I take that back. No, there's 2 more scavenger hunts. You lied. I lied. That was wrong. Completely wrong. Completely wrong. No, I did not give you anything helpful or useful in here because these are really easy to find. I didn't think I did for this one.
That's racist.
What's racist?
Wow, that's racist.
It's not racist. Where do you think tacos originated? Not Ireland.
Or did they?
So we're not doing nothing. So I can't guarantee you that they were not.
We're not doing what?
Yo, we can make.
Oh, yes, we will, but that's part of the discussion.
You don't get anything on potato.
Potatoes are like the ultimate food, honestly.
They're the only good vegetable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make fries.
You can go potatoes on Mars.
They don't hold like a lot.
What is this?
Which way?
Oh, that's the skate lab from yesterday that you slept through.
Maybe I did was because of my computer.
No, that's.
Oh, what's good?
What if I put him outside or drop him? What if I put him in the back?
You said your shoes.
I told you, I didn't put anything in there. Anything in Google Classroom, y'all just search the web.
Oh, learn.
Find something you like.
Oh,
I didn't give you anything.
So you guys just find stuff on the.
Yeah, take whatever you want.
You got a dog there.
Do I have a dog? Yeah.
My neighbor's dog ran in my house yesterday, in my apartment. That's rough.
Do we even need
I couldn't
to
catch it.
This unit has no math in it for you.
Thank you, yes.
You do not need calculators.
My brain is about to
If
go.
y'all have calculators, you can put them up. There's not a math calculation to be found.
That is, you're gonna see all my grades go from like 70s to 100s.
No math. No math.
No math.
No math.
No math.
Where's the website?
There, sit down and work.
No.
Nah, bro, he was trying to laugh on you. No, I'm pretty sure you pushed.
You saw that?
Yeah, I saw that. No, bro, you put. I pushed you, bro. Why you capping, bro? Oh, you saw that, bro. Yes. You didn't show us the transfers. That's why we're looking for them. Oh, man. Oh, I know what it is. Isn't it like convection? Yeah. Conduction, convection, and something else.
Yeah.
Oh.
Conduction, convection, and radiation. I told you, you don't have any trouble finding them.
I remember I didn't find them. Cause I'm just.
What's your favorite lunch in the school as well?
Huh?
What's your favorite lunch in this school?
I haven't eaten lunch in school in over 20 years.
I'm trying to think about 20 years ago.
Well, it shows you ain't been eating. You never ate them.
Did they have
Because
a
Wallace
Does it not
Howard
taste
trains
good?
back
It
then.
doesn't taste good.
It
And I
doesn't
have,
matter.
Oh, you
I have
tried
intestinal issues when I eat in the cafeteria. So
Right, if you look at my voice,
I learned long ago that I.
yeah, like I looked at meat ones and that sloppy Joe, that was not me.
I didn't even eat.
For that brisket was one you got.
I don't
But
think
if
that
you
is
eat the
nasty.
lunch food here, you are putting demons in your body.
Demon.
What?
It does. Got you going to the bathroom. Like, boy.
But in the school, I probably go to the bathroom, but they serve us food that we need.
Alright, bro, it's really like, why y'all going to the bathroom? You don't like go 3 times. Y'all serving this crazy food. I don't know what they put in that food. Some gasoline. They don't season it. Right, bro, they be playing with
Feel like
them
it's
fries, bro. No salt, no nothing. Undercooked. Like, y'all could at least put a little salt on it. Right, bro. Plain fries. And then them ketchup packets ain't even got nothing in them. You gotta get like 5 packets. Yo,
Trey.
Thank you.
bye.
Ms. Wall, what is a thermodynamic? Is that like
What?
the complicated word for heat transfer?
It can be.
I bit into a fry from the school yesterday, and it was raw.
I didn't think we even serve fries anymore.
You know them, like when you like touch potatoes, like when it's raw, it's like, you know?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
skills never cook
I
already.
bit into it and I spit it out.
We did not get the rest of the class period to do this, by the way.
We're gonna do Kahoot later, right? Is this in Google?
No, I told you you can use any site you want.
What are you talking about that thing like convection, conduction?
Conduction, convection, radiation, yeah. You've probably seen this before in middle school.
Yep. Okay. I can't see.
What can't you see? So what can't you see?
Everything. My glasses are missing.
Wait, so does convection only happen in liquid and gas?
Convection, yes.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, because I need to keep grading. Yeah, because if I don't have these graded tomorrow, secretary will tell me.
You want us to keep the computers too after we're done?
Yep, we're done with it after that.
Oh.
Well, keep it, because I get to do.
So convection is like when you touch something.
Convection is a current, so that would happen to liquids and gas. That's conduction when you touch.
Dictionary.
Good job. Makes sense.
You said conduction is when you touch.
Mhm.
Radiation definition. Thermal radiation.
What?
The emission of energy at the electromagnetic phase. Heat radiation is transfer the split transfers energy through drains. And what else? A rock. Look at Taylor. seems satisfying. What do you mean? He's satisfied. He's satisfied. Yeah, you go up to the doctor, and ready to go. First one. What did she call it?
They're sitting on a fire too.
You can't draw fire. I'm not. What you do?
You checking this?
Yep.
Oh.
Who does that?
I always just really wanted to know what no, I tell you that.
Other models. Good grades, you want to go?
Yep.
I don't know. What is that?
The sun is putting out.
Liquid gas. Yeah, not touching.
No. But like,
Not one on cow. If we get to Kahoot, yes, so hang on to them, because it's very possible we'll get there. Yeah, hang on, we'll record it in just a second.
He said something great.
Finish what I was calculating there.
I believe my ice cream. Shit, take it right.
Oh my God. What was that?
Grace, have I seen yours?
Yeah, I'm on the way. I mean, you have it, but like, I just got done with it.
Here, you're running his.
That shouldn't be seen. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that was actually, that was the question. Yeah, like, where's that?
What do you do?
Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And you said,
Yeah.
I'll stop at school. I wouldn't even expect it. I was like, I was really like,
What the?
Mm-hmm.
You need just more, like,
You finished my assignment?
no, I got one more to do.
I would do.
Yep, I'm safe.
Can I get some water? Yeah.
Yeah, where's the next?
Gonna review, practice it,
Okay.
and we're gonna do a Kahoot. I'll hand it right back to you. I need to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more people.
That's why. Stop what? Stuff about?
All right, I need to see what Derek still have. Let me see what you guys have. Next time, bring it to me when it's done. I'm going to chase you down. All right, let's look at what you guys came up with. All right, because we're going to practice this in just a second. Now, I wrote down some keywords for all of you to help you keep straight the differences between all of them. Okay? Now, you wrote down definitions for all of them, so you do not need to write this. You hear me? Yeah. All right. So, I wrote direct contact or touching on your paper because you're going to have to be able to tell me the differences between these. Now, you guys have been in here long enough to know I do not ask y'all to write definitions for the types of heat transfer. I give you pictures or examples, and you have to figure out which one of them is the type of heat transfer you have, okay? So how are you going to know what's the key definition or the key word to know the difference between conduction, convection, or radiation? In order to be conduction, it has to do what? It has to touch. So how are y'all transferring heat between your body and the seat that you're sitting in currently? Conduction. You're touching the seat. So you're transferring your body heat to the seat by touching it, right? Now, you have all kinds of other examples I'm sure written down. Jose, give me one you wrote down for conduction. You can look at your paper. I don't expect you to have it memorized. I know you put it away. Okay, don't do it like Jose. Keep it out so if I call on you, you can look at your paper and see what you wrote down. Now, those of you who still have your phones playing a movie or a video or something, turn it off. Pause it.
If y'all actually
You wrote what?
you shouldn't even use it.
Yeah, no, what example did you write?
That's cool.
All right, ice melting on your hands. All right, OTL, what's one you wrote down? Touching a stove, being burned. All right, now Jay, give me one you have. We got ice melting, touching a stove. A what?
A car turned on, like the heat.
All right, the heat coming out of a car. I'm not crazy about that one for conduction, because will you touch the heat? No, Nigel?
I got a question.
You got what?
Question.
Yeah.
What type of heat transfer is a blanket?
Well, what?
A blanket.
What kind of blanket?
No,
Like if you got a blanket over top, you keep me warm. Like is the blanket keeping the cold air out? Or
I guess you could say conduction for that, but if you said an electric blanket, I'd like that answer better, because the electric blanket is what kind of blanket? It's a direct connection between heat laying on top. All right, I'm not going to mark a regular blanket laying on top of you wrong, but heat blowing out of a vent, I'm not going to say it's conduction.
Water.
In a minute. All right, now, where do I think Najea's example would fit better? Go ahead, give me your example.
a water in a hot bottle, or a hot water in a water bottle, and like warming your hands with it.
All right, if you have hot water in a bottle and your hands are touching the bottle, yes.
Would it be better in?
Yes, it would be much better in convection. All right, so with convection, all right,
You guys wrote down something about energy, I'm sure, and movements of currents. Now, what keyword did I give you all for convection? All right, nope, not for convection.
Liquid and gas.
I should have written liquid and gas. Did I write it on the wrong one on yours?
No.
All right. So liquid and gas. So if you're talking about heat, heat has the movement of liquids and gases. All right, so if you turn on the heating system, all right, heating works based on convection currents. Air moves up and air moves down. So when you guys come in here and you're like, it's cold in here, Miss Wall, all right, it's because of convection currents. If the door opens or closes on its own, it's because of a convection current. If the door is open or closed and somebody goes in or out of the room, I can tell you if somebody's left because I can feel the change in air pressure in the room. And that's because of convection currents, okay? That's the movement of gases. Now, how many of you have gotten in a swimming pool in the summertime and you feel warm water close to you? Now, 9 times out of 10, you say, ooh, somebody peed in the pool. Now, that may have happened. Odds are good that nobody peed in the pool. What happens when the sun beats down on the warm water? You really need me to have your phone for the rest of the period? All right, what happens when the sun beats down on the water on the top layer of the water in the pool? It heats it up. What happens when y'all get in the pool around lunchtime? No one needs to get in the pool at any time that Tyler goes to the pool. Because clearly he's pooping in the pool. Okay? The rest of us can go to the pool. But Tyler and his family should be banned from all pools. Alright, Derek, get off the phone. Now, when the sun heats the top layer of water in a pool, it heats it up. When we hopefully get in a pool and don't do that, alright, what happens to that water? Does it get mixed up?
Yeah.
Yeah, so where's the hot water go? Down and around in the pool. So you feel that hot water that's being mixed up throughout the pool. That's the warm water that hits your legs. Those are convection currents. All right? Have any of you ever been to a lake or a river and gotten in the water? Anybody? Okay, the one time you were there, did you remember feeling any warm water? Okay. If you ever go to a lake or a river, you will feel, again, pockets of warm water. Do you think the fish are peeing in the water enough that you're feeling all their pee urine?
Yes.
Okay, you people are nuts. Okay? That is not what's happening. Again, the sun warms the warm water. The water gets churned up, and it's warm water that's moving past your legs. All right? It's not people peeing beside you. There are not 100 people swimming in the river beside you peeing, so warm pee floats by you. That's just not the way it works. Now, what other examples did y'all put down for convection? A hot air balloon is convection. What else? What? Boiling water. Water in a pot. What else? You put what? A greenhouse. All right? Anything that involves heating or cooling would be convection if it involves like heating or air. All right? Did anybody put central heating or air? No? If you had your heating or air systems, that would be convection. All right? Radiation. The key word I gave you there was heating your empty space. All right? Or not touching. So what kind of examples did we put for that one?
The sun.
The sun heating us. Microwaves.
Radio.
Radios. What? A candle. Huh? Well, radio waves technically fall in radiation. We're not going to talk about radio waves right now, but if you put that, I won't mark it wrong.
Like, you know, those rocks that they heat up and then you like put your hand around it to get warm? Is that radiation?
Yeah.
Like, there's a rock that you heat up and you put your hand around the rock. And is that radiation?
Well, because you put your hands around it, it's going to be conduction because you're touching it.
No,
No, if you don't touch it, then yes, it would be radiation because your hands are near it and you're feeling the heat come off of it. Yes. Sit down. Okay? All right, let's see if we can practice.
So I figured that out.
You gonna stay awake over there, Jose?
No.
But we got more notes.
Hey, we got practice now. You resist practice?
Man, let's do it.
Go to the front side. You should
I'm not even writing me while this stuff.
Well, heat is probably the most boring topic I have to teach all year.
We get grades for this.
She's scared.
That's all I'm talking around.
Alright,
She's scared. So
now this is pretty easy. In the top section, it's okay. It's not so stupid. Alright. In the top section, you're either going to write H or N. Alright, so we read number 1. It says heat is an invisible, weightless fluid. Well, to be a fluid, you have to be matter. Is heat matter? Oh. So you're going to write N because you said no. Okay? If it's a yes, you write H.
And then you give.
If you get to the point where you say, what's caloric? Is it a description of heat?
No.
No.
Do we have to explain our answer?
Huh?
We have to explain our answer.
Now, I always assume in part 2 y'all are okay on insulators and conductors. Did I make a wrong assumption there? On insulators and conductors. Okay, flip your note sheet over or write it in your notes. We'll go back because I always assume this and then I have to backtrack sometimes. Sometimes people remember it and sometimes they don't. All right? Here. All right, most people have done this before they get to me and they know this stuff, but sometimes people don't, so we'll just go back. All right, so tell me what an insulator and a conductor is, since some of y'all are looking at me like I'm crazy.
We don't know.
I don't care. Tell me what it is.
Make it go through. Later, stop it.
Okay, so a conductor allows heat to move through it easily. All right, and Nigel said an insulator stops heat from passing through it. All right, so that's what he said a conductor and an insulator is, and he's right. Okay, so a conductor allows heat to move through it easily, and an insulator stops heat from passing through it. So what kind of things are going to be conductors? What kind of things let heat go through it pretty easily?
Taking on iron.
Okay, so what kind of things are those, Trevor? What?
Metal.
Metals. Okay, so conductors are metals. And what kinds of things are insulators? So what kinds of
Not metal.
not metals? Okay, things that are not metals, we call those non-metals. Okay, we call those non-metals. That's how we can tell if they're insulators. They're not metals. So like styrofoam, rubber, plastics. So if you think about it, anybody accidentally left like a metal spoon in a pot, or like maybe they were stirring soup or something on the stove, go back to it and actually grab it, and then they're like, oh, use a profanity in the kitchen because it was hot.
You ever put your hand in boiling water?
No, because I'm not saying.
Who puts their finger on an iron? Like, she walked up to the iron and thought it was a good idea to poke it.
It's plugged in.
What do you want me to tell you? All right. So answer these, and we're going to go over them before the bell rings. We have time to answer them and go over them.
No,
Not
okay,
much.
look, I didn't know that the plastic
What?
dissolved in water.
That's variable.
If you're done, yes, you can select ask me
that
the questions. Ask me questions.
It's your fault.
And the plastic popped on my tongue. It all spilled out.
But still, I tested it.
It's
You made
wasting
that far.
You made that far
I
in the process
managed
of
to
it.
get most of it out of my mouth.
Most of it.
Some of it I swallowed, and yes, my stomach was getting torn apart the next few days.
Because you deserved it, because it's a tight one, man. What do you expect?
Y'all ever been outside and seen them roaches that like fly?
Could you finish the
I'm
assignment?
scared.
No, weird. That's good.
So it's just, is it conduction if you are touching it or if just the heat source is touching it?
What are we looking at?
On the toaster.
On the toaster? I will take 2 answers for the toaster, because it depends on what kind of toaster you have.
Heat is not fluid. Right? Well,
What?
it's not fluid. That's what I said. So that's a no,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Heat is not a fluid.
No.
The whole class.
Heat is not a substance.
So we turn this on?
No, we're gonna go over it.
Heat is made of molecules. Yes. Yes.
Does it matter?
No. So it's not.
That's how we do it.
No. Right? All these.
They're not all known.
Heat moves from one object to another. Yes. Heat can transfer to no. No. Energy. Is it?
Go to the area.
No. Right? You want to do part 3 too? Part 3? Yes. You just text a new person and you're like, oh, I haven't seen this in so long. What's up? And then they're like, I don't even know you. And then you guys.
So it's spinning, baby.
What is that? What is a turtle world?
Rock.
Sorry.
Like she did in the week, they hit that hard.
Oh, no.
Just say, hey,
No.
Oh, it's time to go pack up.
It's not time to go. We have 8
It's
minutes.
time to go pack up.
Ignore Tyler.
Is heat energy? No, right?
Yeah, that's one of the 5 better.
Always.
Yeah, heat's caused by motion of molecules of matter, right? So they move faster or something? See, I remember freshman.
That's what you gonna do.
Today, I mean, I was up with so like, I was
Alright, let's look at some of what you came up with.
No, yes.
Alright, number 1. We already did. So number 2. Heat is a substance called caloric.
No.
No, we didn't talk about anything called caloric. I'm gonna tell y'all that when we did the state test stuff. Don't be picking answers that you think sound smart just because we didn't talk about it. Alright, number 3. Heat is made up of molecules.
Yes.
Does it matter
No.
that it's not made of molecules? Number 4. Heat moves from a warmer to a colder object. Yes, that's the rule. It goes from warmer to colder. Number 5. Heat can be transferred in only one way. No, there are how many ways? 3. 6. Heat is a form of energy.
Yes.
Yes, thermal energy. Heat is caused by the internal motion of the molecules. Yes. If you go outside and run around, your molecules are going to start to do what? They're going to go fast. Number 8. Motion produces heat.
Yes.
Yeah, it does. 9. Great. This is why I yell at you two about sitting together. You cannot sit together and be quiet and listen.
I was telling her why.
I don't care. If I'm talking, you're not. Number 9. No, you can't. Cold molecules move faster than warm molecules. No. Who moves faster? Warm or cold? Warm goes faster. And number 10, the hotter a substance is, the less energy it has? No. The warmer it is, the faster it is. So, the hotter a substance is, the less energy it has is a no. So that's an N. Alright, so number 2. Which ones are C's? Is number 1 air, a C, or an I? That's an I. And I'm going to go down the column, so we're going to do 1 through 5, 7.
Okay.
Alright, 3, rubber. I, aluminum.
C.
Iron.
C.
And plastic.
I.
Good. Numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. Copper.
C.
C, glass. It's supposed to be an I. Alright, I will tell you that glass gets hot, and if you touch it, it'll burn you. But glass is always going to fall in the insulator category for the purposes of the test. Silver.
C.
C, wood.
I.
I, and down, or feathers. Is an I. Alright, so, number 1 with the dude holding his hands near the fire. That is radiation. Okay? He's being warmed through radiation. Alright, the idiot touching the iron. That's conduction. Now, number 3 can be looked at 2 different ways. What do you think?
That's like best.
Yeah, I say conduction.
A lot of people say it's basking, so I never tell people radiation is wrong. That's not what they're actually shooting for there. They're shooting for the dude laying on the rock. So they're trying to get you to say it's what?
I thought that was a turtle.
It is a turtle.
It's a turtle.
Alright, the turtle's laying on the rock. So it is supposed to be what? It's supposed to be conduction, because his shell is touching the rock.
When you said
Alright.
he's laying on the rock, I thought you meant like.
No, the turtle's laying on the rock. Alright, so it's supposed to be conduction, because he's literally laying on the rock. But I never tell people wrong, or radiation's wrong, because he doesn't look like he's sunning himself. Alright, number 4, the arrows are the giveaway there.
Conduction.
It's convection. Alright, number 5 with the hand with the ice. That's conduction, he's touching it. That one's just purely conduction. Alright, number 6 with the hair dryer.
Conduction.
That's convection, that's air currents. Now, number 7 can be 1 of 2. Alright? The flames are touching the glass, so you could put conduction. But the bubbles and the little squiggly lines are meant to show you that it's actually what they're shooting for. They're shooting for boiling water, which is convection. Alright, and number 8 depends on the kind of toaster you have. You have the kind that grips the bread and leaves marks. If it is, it's what? If it is, it's conduction. And if you have the kind that just lowers down and there's no marks and it pops it back up with nothing, it's what?
Conduction. Or radiation.
It's radiation. So it depends on the kind of toaster you have. Okay? And unless you have a convection oven, it's not that.
Space heater.
We'll do the Kahoot tomorrow.
Who's walking?
Yes.
Space heater.
I'm missing 1 calculator. I need laptops back in the cabinet if they're not all plugged in, please. Nope, you don't want that. What?
What is space heater?
Hopefully you did a few passed the test there.
You know those heaters?
Yeah. That would be radiation. Because most of them can sit there beside.
No, that thing, it was a place to be funny. Oh. No, the way it was.
Anything else?
He found out.
So it's like a video.
So you thought he was gonna fall, that's why.